After the announcement of the country's first COVID-19 case, President Museveni has lauded his health officials for the early detection of the 36-year-old man who tested positive. Museveni reiterated the importance of the measures announced earlier in the week, especially the restrictions on entering the country. In an effort to minimize the spread of this deadly disease, Museveni advised all Ugandans to avoid public transport.
The buses, I have not banned them yet, but I'm appealing to you to minimize the use of those public transport means. If you don't have your own private transport, your own car, or your own motorcycle, or your own bicycle, don't use this public transport. Stay at home. Where are you going?
He cautioned public transport operators to put in place measures to prevent transmission of the virus.
Arrange for people to have these temperature monitors, to arrange to have them temperature monitors at the some of these embarkation and disembarkation points, the bus parks and so on. I don't know whether the Minister of Health can manage to cope with that because the money may be too much. Thirdly, for people to wash their hands with the disinfectants when they are entering and when they are leaving. But you, at the individual level, if you don't have to, please don't use those public transport means.
The president also reiterated the need of his ban on all nightclubs and bars as one of the measures to regulate the spread of the disease.
Nightclubs and bars are not workplaces, because you remember I told you that the workplaces should remain open. The workplaces are factories, and hotels and offices.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Health, Jane Cheng, has called upon all other people aboard the same flight as the man who tested positive to comply with government's quarantine regulations.
None of the other passengers had any issues during screening to warrant them being retained. However, as is usual, because they all fill forms on board and indicate their addresses, we have retrieved all, entered it into a system, and we are analyzing critically to see how to get in touch with them. They are not sick people. They don't have signs and symptoms. They are just contacts. And that is why we are humbly appealing that if we call upon you, please do come, not because you're sick, and we don't want anybody to stigmatize you, just to come and say, I was on the plane, so that we are able to take a nasal swab, because the earlier we detect, the better.
The president also revealed plans to use empty school dormitories as temporary quarantine centers.
Now that the children have gone home, we could get some schools to quarantine these people there, instead of wasting money in hotels. But then I'm told that some people are superstitious, that once the corona people stay there, they will bring Xirani to the school.
Ali Mivule, NTV.